That's for
You want
Mr.
to just
Mayor.
bring that over here?
Well, or whatever. I was.
Shift it back. Yeah. Where were you saying? I went to Puerto Rico, but I'm going to South Africa. Yeah. That's at the end of September.
Okay, got you.
And then I'm going to Singapore for my birthday. I'm going to Singapore for my birthday. Yeah. I'll bring you back something. Okay. Oh, yeah.
He was also included.
Meeting will now come to order. Sunshine.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law, notice of this meeting stating the time and place was satisfied by the filing of an annual notice with the local source and the Star Ledger, newspapers of general circulation within the Township of Union, and posted on the bulletin board of the Township of Union Municipal Building.
Thank you, Diana. Welcome to the Township of Union's Planning Board meeting of August the 25th, 2022. At this time, can I have a roll call?
Ms. Frazier? Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Ms. Perkins?
Here.
Reverend Starling? Mayor Figueredo?
Here.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Present.
Ms. Ricketts? Mr. Miller?
Here.
Chairman Bowser?
Here. At this time, can we swear in the engineer?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
We have minutes for 2 meetings. First, I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes for June 23rd, 2022.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move the minutes for June 23rd, 2022. Also, just noting for the record for correction that you, Mr. Chairman, weren't present.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
A roll call vote?
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins? Yes. Mr. Lewis?
Abstain, not present.
Mayor Figurito?
Abstain, not present.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes. At this time, can I have a motion to approve the minutes for July 28th, 2022?
Mr. Chairman, I so move the minutes for July 28th, 2022.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Abstain, not present.
Ms. Perkins? Yes. Mayor Figurito?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Miller?
Absent, not present.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes. We have 2 resolutions on the agenda tonight. The first resolution is application 20-22-09, Logistics Center LLC. Have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully move application 2022-0941 Logistics Center LLC be approved.
Can I get a second?
Second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Abstain, not present.
Ms. Perkins? Yes. Mayor Figurito?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Miller?
Abstain, not present.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes. Next, we have the site plan waiver for application 20-22-11, Union Urban Renewal. Can I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully move that SPW application 2020-11 VU Urban Renewal be approved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Abstain, not present.
Ms. Perkins? Yes. Mayor Figurito?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Miller?
Abstain, not present.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes. Last, we have application 20-22, Arzoco Noble Coating LLC. A motion to approve, please.
Mr. Chair, I respectfully move application 2022-12 Axo Noble Coatings be approved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Abstain, not present.
Ms. Perkins? Yes. Mayor Figurito?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Miller?
Abstain, not present.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes. At this time, moving along the agenda, we have 3 items under new business. The first application is application 20-22-08, Soka Development. Will the representative for that application please come forward?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Alan Barkin, Schwartz, Barkin, Mitchell, on behalf of Soka Development.
Thank you. You have testimony to bring forward to the board?
We actually, last meeting, 2 meetings ago, in June, when we were last here, we'd actually finished our presentation. And there was about to be a vote when the acting chairman asked that we submit a letter to the township engineer addressing the question of density, which I did. And so, I don't know if the township engineer has any comments, or otherwise we would like to see a vote.
Can you just give us an overview of what you presented, please? Thank you.
This involves 2 lots on Brookside Avenue. One is 39 feet wide and one is about 60 feet wide. What we intend to do is to merge them together and re-subdivide them so they're each 52 feet wide. The problem that we have is that every property on the block is only 90 feet deep. And so we need a variance for lot depth. And because it's only 90 feet deep, even though it's 52 feet wide, we're still short on lot area. So we need those two variances due to those conditions, mainly caused by the fact that even though the zone calls for 100-foot depth, every lot on the block is only 90 feet deep.
Okay. And just one more point. You provided a letter. Can you just give us a top-line overview of that letter that you provided?
What we pointed out was that these lots, which will be 52 wide and 90 feet deep, will be among the biggest in the area. Most of the houses in the area are on 39-foot wide lots, or many of them. Many of them are also right up against the street. They're usually 5 feet or 10 feet back. This one's going to be 22 feet back. And so we think that this actually reduces the density on the block rather than making it more dense.
Thank you. Any questions of this witness from the board? Any questions from the public? Would you please come forward, please? State your name and, well, over there.
Could you kindly state and spell your name for the record? I couldn't hear you.
I don't believe our mic is on.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
We're going to take care of that. It's not. Maybe you can go to the other mic, please. Thank you. Yes, you can. Yes.
Patricia Jones, apartment 1202 Brookside Avenue.
Would you kindly spell it? Patricia is your first,
Yes.
and could you spell your last name, please?
Parchment.
Thank you.
Okay, so the gentleman was saying something about 90 feet deep. All the properties that are on Brookside Avenue, is that correct? Did I hear that right?
And on that side of the street, yes.
On that side of the street, okay, because I was saying on the opposite side of the street, that doesn't seem to appear that way, so that was my question.
Okay.
Okay. There are, I'm gonna say maybe 2 or 3 houses that are more than 90 feet or 90 feet. So I just wanted to clarify that. Am I correct? Because you're saying all the houses, so I
The
just
ones
wanted.
on that section, and there's some that go like about a corner that might be different.
So I just wanted to make sure I'm getting all the information, there we go. We're
Yes.
getting all the information correct. Since you're presenting the information.
I'll have our engineer testify to it again, but last week he testified, last time he demonstrated that that whole section is only 90 feet deep, and most of the houses on that block are in narrower lots than this one.
Thank you, Ms. Jones, for your testimony. Are there any additional questions from the public? At this time, can I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, I move application 2022-08 Soka Development, 1227 Brookside Avenue.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Mayor Figueredo?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is application 20-2214 Spring Street, St. John's Place. Will the representative for that application please come forward?
Good evening, Bruce Radowitz on behalf of the applicant, 636 Chestnut Street, Union, New Jersey.
Thank you.
This, yes,
You have testimony?
yes, this is an application to essentially re-subdivide 2 lots by moving a portion of land from 29 St. John Street to 387 Spring Street to continue the 2 lots. We do have the surveyor/engineer to testify, Ed Deck, who has prepared the surveys that were previously submitted to the board.
Thank you. Would you come forward?
Sir, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And would you please state and spell your name for the record?
Sure. Edward S. Deck, last name Deck, D-E-C, 131 North Michigan Avenue, Kenworth, New Jersey.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your name.
Deck, D-E-C.
D-E-C.
That's the last name. First name Edward.
First name is
Edward.
Edward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Should I start?
You,
Uh,
more than welcome.
Would like to see the plans on these, so I can point to it?
Yes. Should he give his qualifications before testimony?
Yes, I
Okay.
let him, I was
Okay.
going to let him set up, and
Okay.
then certainly Mr. Deck can provide his qualifications for the board.
And I'd ask that we identify for purposes of the record what the exhibits are as A1, A2 in that way.
Certainly. So, Mr. Deck, you want to start with your qualifications, please?
Certainly. I'm a licensed professional engineer and land surveyor in the state of New Jersey. I'm the principal owner of Guariello and Deck Associates in Kenworth, 131 North Michigan Avenue. I've been practicing surveying and engineering since 1995. I've appeared in front of this board testifying both the zoning and planning boards and most municipalities within Union County and surrounding areas.
The board stipulates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Bill, well, you want to, either one? And Mr. Deck, if you would explain to the board what the plan is with regard to the 2 properties?
The plan set that's in front of the board consists of 3 sheets. The first sheet gives a area view of both of the lots that are involved in this lot line adjustment or subdivision. The property on Spring Street is 5701, and it's comprised of a house, driveway, existing garage and shed, and the rear area of the existing lot, 5701, is open space. The property on St. John's Place is a lot that has 50-foot frontage, which is the allowable minimum in the zone. It then extends further to the south along lots 15, 14, and 13. That is the present condition and lot configuration that's that, as it stands today. What the applicant would like to do.
And just, Mr. Deck, before you get to sheet 2, that was Exhibit A?
A1.
A1, yes, on behalf of the applicant. Certainly.
Also on this sheet, the 200-foot radius map is shown, showing conditions of the property. On sheet 2,
Which would be Exhibit A2.
sheet 2, three, this highlights the proposed lot, 5301, that is going to be on St. John's Place. As you can see now, lot 5301 is 5,000 square foot lot. It meets the zone standard for area, also meets the zone standard for lot depth and for lot width. The portion that was presently, the rear of 53 is going to be combined to and added onto the lot 5701. I'm not sure if the board has a photo, but you can see this lightning dashed line. That is the line that is going to be eliminated. And that portion will be eliminated to 5701. This will now be a standalone lot. Nothing is proposed to be done to that lot, no changes. The building will change, the property will change, and for the standard, it's just going to be now a smaller lot that still is all of the requirements for that zone. There is, as pointed out in Mr. Reviewer, an existing non-conforming, the side yard setback of the building, in this zone is 5 feet, what we have 4.85 and 4.4, almost 5 feet, short of 5 feet by about an inch and a half an inch. And on the westerly side, it's a little bit less, about 4.5 feet short, 4.5 feet and a half feet short of the required minimum. So that's going to be an existing non-conformity that will be part of the approval. Then we go to sheet 3, which is now what we're doing is isolating the new lot 5301 as what was recommended by tax professor, that this new lot would be called. So what we have, and I'll start with this.
And since my microphone is working, that would also be Exhibit A3.
You have that pen? Thank you. Sure. It was working fine. Thank you. Okay. What this plan shows is the enlargement of the existing lot, which was 5701. It's now going to be called 5703 in the new configuration. So what we have here is the existing driveway, building, garage, shed, and now this open space is going to be combined with the open space that was previously attached to lot number 53. So again, in this property, this newly created property, will not have any variances or existing conditions that do not meet the minimum requirements for that zone. So I'll just turn back to the original page and just kind of read off the zoning chart. For lot 53, which was this larger lot that fronted on St. John's, it was 15,000 square feet. It's going to be reduced to 5,000 square feet. We meet the minimum lot widths, the lot depths requirement. The front back setback on that is at 21.6 feet. The majority of the homes in that area are within that 20 and 25 foot setback dimension. Again, I believe that will also be an existing nonconformity because in a sense, the minimum is 20 feet, we exceed 20 feet, but an average would be 25. So we're somewhere in between the minimum and the average, but it's, again, an existing condition. The front back, as I just pointed out, rear setback was like 130 feet. It is now going to be 33 feet, which again still meets the criteria allowed by the ordinance. Building coverages, we still meet that. 40% is allowed. In the old configuration, it was only 9% coverage. New configuration, 29%, so we're well still below the allowable building coverage and also allowable percent impervious coverage. Again, nothing's changing, it's just the configuration of the lot lines. We are now drawing a lot line at this line here, which is the rears of lot 5101 and 54 that's being connected, creating that smaller lot. And this lot here, the remainder of 53, will be combined to the area of lot 5701. And that area from 24,475 is increased to 34,482. So what we're doing is isolating this property, and I believe the applicant's intention is to sell that house and then occupy this area here. And again, no changes are being made to any of the structures.
Mr. Duck, I just want to clarify the proposed lot designations, okay? Lot 53 will become 5301,
That's correct.
okay? And lot 5701 will become 5703,
That is correct.
okay? So your resubmission will reflect
The
that.
plans will be revised to reflect that, along with the meets and bounds and deeds that would be checked by your office.
Yep.
And I have prepared a preliminary deed. I just have to make a couple of changes to it. If the board so approves the application, I'll submit the deed by beginning of next week for review by the township.
Okay, good.
Any questions from the board? Questions from the public? Do you have additional testimony?
No additional testimony.
Okay. Comments from the public? Can you give us a wrap-up overview?
Yes, this is an application on behalf of the property owner to reconfigure two lots that are contiguous by moving a small portion from one lot to the other. The testimony is provided the surveys, or previously we provided the surveys of what the applicant was doing. The testimony has indicated that it is in complete conformity with all municipal ordinances at the present time. There's the two minor variances that are pre-existing conditions outstanding, the side yard setback on lot 53 and the front yard setback on lot 53 on St. John's Place, which have been in existence. The properties, the houses or the buildings on the properties are not moving. Those lines are not changing.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, I respectfully move application 2022-14, 387 Spring Street / St. John's Place, B as in Bravo 1009, L as in Lima, S 53-57.02 minor subdivision be approved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Mayor Figueredo?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes.
Very good. And
Okay.
just for clerical, I'll submit the deed in the next couple of days. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want the enlargement to the exhibits or no? No, thank you. You have enough, right?
I know. Go ahead.
You're welcome.
Enough of
At
plans.
this time, will the representative giving the presentation for Jeanette Avenue redevelopment area in need of study please come forward?
All of a sudden, that seems like
Okay, I think we're set. Ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Kristen Russell with Colliers Engineering and Design. I am a licensed professional planner in the state of New Jersey, and I'm here tonight to present to you the area and need study that we were asked to do for Jeanette Avenue.
Thank you.
I'll just swear you in before you. Yes. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So the board has tasked us with looking at Jeanette Avenue as an area in need of redevelopment. I know the township has other areas in need of redevelopment, which have become redevelopment areas, but just by way of background, this is sort of like a cousin to zoning, which we look at to see if it qualifies for a number of criteria established by the state to meet the requirements of an area in need of redevelopment. And should the board, and then at the board's recommendation, should the township committee concur with our findings, then the next step is to go forward with a redevelopment plan. So as context, this is block 4305 lot 10 and 4219 lot 35. You can see on the map here, these are two parcels on either side of Jeanette Avenue. It's a combined 6.42 acres, and it's the oddly shaped lot is adjacent to the Boys and Girls Club. It's part of it's a parking lot, and part of it is undeveloped open space. And then the linear rectangular lot on the other side of Jeanette Avenue is a parking lot. The existing zoning on both of the parcels is RA, residential one family, which allows one family dwellings, parks and playgrounds, public buildings with a minimum lot area of 5,000 square feet and a maximum building height of 32 feet. When we're studying an area to see if it is an area in need, we do look at your master plan because we want to make sure that there's consistency. Your last comprehensive master plan was recently done, as we've actually talked about not too long ago. And among its goals is to maintain the character of existing residential neighborhoods while providing opportunities for housing types that meet the interests and needs of all ages and abilities. This includes recognizing the viability of and need for alternatives to detached single-family homes, two-family dwellings, and other housing configurations in existing neighborhoods, and as part of redevelopment should be continued where this will not undermine other objectives. Seamlessly integrate a more diverse housing stock into the community. Another goal is to establish realistic market-driven and financially feasible redevelopment plans that attract new development and encourage redevelopment or rehabilitation of existing properties where possible, and to encourage the improvement of properties in disrepair. There are a series of criteria that the state has established that we need to look at the properties that have been identified and see if one or multiple of these criteria can be applied to the subject properties. There are quite a number. I'm not going to read all of them to you, but I will focus in on 3 of them that had applicability to this study. The first is criterion C, land that is owned by the municipality, the county, or local housing authority, redevelopment agency, or redevelopment entity, or unimproved vacant land that has remained so for a period of 10 years, and by reason of its location, remoteness, lack of means of access, topography, nature of the soil, is not likely to be developed through the instrumentality of private capital. Criterion D is areas with buildings or improvements, which by reason of dilapidation, obsolescence, overcrowding, faulty arrangement, or design, lack of ventilation, light, and sanitary facilities, excessive land coverage, deleterious land use or obsolete layout, or any combination of these are detrimental to the safety, health, morals, or welfare of the community. And then moving on, criterion H is the designation of the delineated area is consistent with smart growth planning principles adopted pursuant to law or regulation. So those are the three out of the many that we will be talking about this evening. The first parcel of the two that we looked at was Block 4305, Lot 10. This is the lot immediately adjacent to the Boys and Girls Club. It's 4.5 acres. It provides parking on one half of the parcel, and the other half of the parcel is undeveloped land. It has secondary frontage on Commerce Avenue, and it slopes down from Commerce Avenue to Jeanette Avenue. Along Jeanette Avenue is an 18-inch storm sewer and a 3-foot channel along Commerce Avenue, both of which discharge into the undeveloped portion of the site and create water issues. A picture here is from the parking lot looking toward the Boys and Girls Club. And here I have two more pictures. They're not, the one on the left is just demonstrating that a lot of the land is undeveloped. And the picture on the right is a fenced-in area of the undeveloped land that has kind of been compromised. The fence isn't doing too well, and it's no longer limiting access to that area. Looking at this parcel, I did find that criterion C applies. That's the one that requires land be owned by the municipality, and that by reason of its condition, it's not likely to be developed through the instrumentality of private capital. It has been owned by the township for over 60 years, and as I explained earlier, 2 adjacent storm sewers discharge into the site, which is problematic for the development of this site. The sloped topography results in the collection of water on the site, and there really needs to be some infrastructure modifications or regrading in order to have this site developable. Because of these constraints and costly conditions, the site is not likely to be developed through private capital. I found that criterion D would also apply. This is the one, to paraphrase, is hindered by faulty arrangement or design. This Lot 10 has a faulty design and obsolete layout, again, because of the storm sewer situation that's discharging onto the site. Having water discharge is detrimental to the health and safety of the community. We have standing water, there can be a mosquito breeding ground, and the development burden that this puts on the community, it creates a gap in the development pattern of the community. Vacant lots tend to depress the value of a block, as well as the financial welfare and morale of the community. And last, for this parcel, criterion H is consistency with smart growth planning practices that have been adopted by the state. This redevelopment of this site aligns with state planning priorities to locate much of the state's future planning development in a metropolitan planning area. Union is designated as a metropolitan planning area, and the redevelopment would contribute to the revitalization of cities and towns, promote compact growth, stabilize an older suburb, and any future redevelopment plan would be written to protect the character of the existing community. The second parcel is Block 4219, Lot 35. This is the 1.92 acre parking lot that is on the opposite side of the street. Just some pictures that I took in the area. There's really not a whole lot, anything wrong with this parking lot. It seems to be functioning well. It's in good condition. But as with the prior parcel, Criterion H could apply, that it is consistent with smart growth, for the same reasons that I went over just moments ago. You don't have to find something wrong with every single lot in order for the area to qualify, which leads us to Section 3. Section 3 of the Local Redevelopment Housing Law allows the inclusion of parcels necessary for the effective redevelopment of the area. It says that a redevelopment area may include land, buildings, or improvements which of themselves are not detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare, but the inclusion of which is found necessary. The reason for this is because the existing parking lot adjacent to the Boys and Girls Club would be eliminated if that side of the parcel is developed. And the linear existing parking lot would be able to take on the burden of those lost spaces, as well as potentially provide some off-site across the street parking for what would be developed on that new lot. So without that added area for parking, you're really, there's really no way to make up for it. So together, the two lots could work in concert and provide one site for building and perhaps some parking, and the remainder would be able to be on this existing parking site. By incorporating Lot 35 into the study area, it can serve as additional parking for both Lot 10, the other parcel that we studied, and Lot 11, which is the Boys and Girls Club, which would be using the use of the lot. So for those reasons, I found that both of the parcels that we looked at are eligible to qualify as an area in need of redevelopment. The first of which, because it does have detrimental aspects and characteristics that make it unlikely to be developed, namely the discharge of the infrastructure of water from faulty infrastructure onto the site, and the second one because it enables the overall development to happen by providing parking across the street from the other parcel. I would recommend that the planning board look favorably upon this, and if you agree with my recommendations, then you would pass your recommendation on to the Township Committee for their ultimate vote.
Questions of this witness? There's no public, but I'm just going to ask the question. Questions from the public? Since there's no questions from the board or the public, can I have a motion to approve?
Yes, I'll move and recommend that, having heard and examined the determination of needs study, that it be remanded to the Township Committee for their examination. And I'd like to add also in that attention be given to parking and all items that would enhance the public good as they study it.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Thank you.
At this time, we have no additional new business. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Could I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned.